Flash primed and ready into the hands of Zekken, but he's none the wiser. It's going to be just avoiding him completely. And Leaf, potential to do the damage with the backstab occurring. They're putting a squeeze now onto those players. Ramp control earned and theirs, and out of sight is next for the taking. John QT, hell of a task. He's got to anchor this one. He's going to be tested momentarily. Pushed up onto the corner. Shots are landing for him though, but his allies being whittled away in the background. The reposition around into the smoke. Sowing that chaos, but G2 are very aware of it, waiting for that smoke to fade, taking a fight together, leaving it into that 2v1. Quick tap. Snake bite forces it forward. Zelsis earns himself that 1v1. It's clever positioning, but now it's about the timing. Swinging around, Jorgamo holding his ground. A tap as well, wide! And a right click. Just going to go for it now. Going to be sending forward to that util. That's a good drone. Suppression across the board. A bit of spam into the smokes. That's just Valorant. Yeah, unlucky for Narrate, but defensive, understanding that the flood could come through.
Great positioning already, though, from G2. They didn't commit too many people to the site. They realized because of the Tejo drone from Trent that it was completely empty, playing for the retake. And now they have Jonah P with Leaf ready to stop this ramp retake. Sen actually split up, trying to go from both sides at once.
Makes it awkward. Splash that's about to occur. Zekken was opening himself up wide there, but a beautiful one to win out. Clone's going to be tagging and taking a couple of the bullets here. G2 just trying to force and fight their way out of this tricky spot. They were under that pressure, as you mentioned, straight through main, but Jonah P being that backup policy, and John QT left to see what he can do. It's a 1v3 with time ticking against him. Players are offering themselves up, but at this point, a little bit too late to go for the play, just trying to play for those exit kills for a B-split.
Did he clear Zekken? I'm not sure Zekken even knows.
Might have missed it, but he's going to be pumping in that chaos destruction, raining down from above. Meant to supplement the action, and Zelsis, he has stepped up to that challenge. Regardless, still, it's too much for him to overcome. Double faced up there by the G2 players, and side controllers garnered.
Picture perfect. Picture perfect entry from G2, though. That's how you're supposed to use the Euro. Well, all the pressure's on Sen now.
Tap, looking for the second wave of things here. Sen gonna bite that bullet! And speaking of biting it down, Zekken, he's offloading it into him, leaving it to the 1v1 though. Spike out into the open, and John QT!
Tejo drone, stun.
Yep. They're throwing the kitchen sink at him at this point, and he's gonna try and dominate that position once more. Steps into the pit. And it's a blight onto the map, but not for Zelsis.
It was only Jonah P that actually scaled through mid.
Losing that though, it's a bit whiffy straight through the wall. Armageddon's going to be offloaded anyway. On top of that with a Cosmic Divide, why not use everything at your disposal? G2 will gain access to the site, gain access to the plan, a renewal into the round in terms of that time.
But this is going to be a very tough post plan. You're holding on against Yoruworld. Zekken sees everybody, and John has his ult. They need to rely on Jorg finding a good timing through the pit in mid, and Zelsis has got the watch on.
Decade is being watched for, and Jorgamo somehow wins that fight out.
How did Jorg win that?
And with that, Thorn into their sides with a TP reposition once more, but the Armageddon is a problem. TP again, step forwards, and John has dealt with him. He was a pesky problem, Jorg. One less thing to worry about still. This is where it gets tight. Thick and heavy in terms of what's being laid down onto this side. Second side step, happy feet in the process. Snap to the side. A stun connects, and Trent is firing off. It's a back-breaking round for either of these teams. Rolling Thunder this time committed over to the left side of the site. A lot of players going to be collected, stunned up in the process. Second in and through towards the back. Masterful shot, returning with the fire once more, but Narrate has dropped down to help them out. Reinforcements are arriving rapid at that. What is that from Jorgamo? Snaps to the side. Still alive. The pit causes chaos, causes confusion. Hamilton to defuse, and it all comes down to Valen. Salvas of their own. Senna willing to hold on to this one tooth and nail. Not shying away from the fight and the action. Paranoia on top of it with the orb up into their face, but that is spam into the backline. Maybe just off the TP sound cue. Something being heard off the back of it. Still
15 seconds.
They're swiveling around all over the place here, and time is running short. Shy of the mark still. Wrapping around. Bullets are nailing. And head's not quite popped, but players are weak enough that the slightest of breeze is going to be bringing them down to their knees. A 2v2. Or back up. Popped up. And then he saw the positioning, and he saw these shots. John has just ripped it off the heads, and Zelsis alongside him. Potentially evacuation, but I'm not too sure how many TPs he's actually got. Inside the smoke to play around, weaving in and out, and it's about that timing. Missed it. Narrate finds it. Salvos pushing them back and away. They've got the pull as well to play this one to the early hours. of this, narrate sticking, half onto the defuse already, these are the Wingon's board, and it is perfection in motion. Sentinels just dissecting with precision all across the site. They know exactly what is going on. He's so far forward, so Smoke to play himself inside of, and TP to get away from it.
They're doing this stuff constantly. I mean, again, it's on a situation where G2 have got a weaker buy, but they're so happy to take aggressive fights and find the timings. They're playing with zero respect, and I think that's really knocking G2.
It's definite key.
30 seconds
Players,
left.
though, look their way up forwards. The gun might just give away the plot. Bang, takes the timing and takes their heads away. Spikes drop down in the middle of nowhere here. G2 don't really have a chance in hell. Jorgamo rips it from behind. That's a dimensional drift. Considered but not ripped off. And the rate locking it all in. Once more, no time to catch your breath. Jorgamo's all the way in with a dimensional drift. Then again, bang with the disrespect! Dominating the smoke positions. Out through the back as well as an Armageddon. Lay it down on top. Flash in your face. You are blinded up. And very little chance, very little opportunity for Jonah P to pave a way to victory. It's a 9-3 start to split. Heavy stack players from the G2 side. Salvos clearing out towards Ven. That's a fault line up on top of the angle. He's trying to play and defend his teammate. Stun's going to be fading, but flash into the face when the clone goes down. Still off to the round. Poor. Okay, push forwards all the way. John QT, leader not just in name. Taking space and taking fight straight to them. They are cleaning up every possible angle where a player could be hiding, tucked to the corner, leaves it down to Trent in that 1v4, and he's not anticipating the hell position. John with 3. The rest of his team going to be trying to split this one up and through, so he will fall. It's a refight by G2, doubled up together. And as I said, it only handed over to Ghost. And that is just unaware of the space that could be taken.
Valen with incredibly wrong read there on what was going on.
Timing from Jorg, slips his way right through the back.
And those Elsis falls on the flank. This is going to be Sentinels for sure taking this up to 11. It's a question of who they want to prioritize the ult orb onto at this point, I think, and John's going to want to fight for it. Armageddon more useful, closer.
Certainly so. Don't want to give up the gun, though, as well.
It was actually quite a nice strat from Sen in this round as well. They send, as you were talking about, Zekken alone through B main. And there's John getting the kill.
Drone sets it forwards, an attempt to spam as well from Jonah P. He's trying to be brave, and you have to be at this point. It's 11-3, but Sentinels are the ones in full control of the situation.
Time to jump.
A 3v4, and John just causing a bit of a, or calling, sorry, a bit of a pause in the round. Bang took pressure in mid, and there takes a fight.
Okay.
Head taken. Valen wins the smokes battle, takes out the lurker, and now they can focus heavily on A. Sen without any space at all in the map right now. So things not looking great here. But a reminder that this is also pretty much a bonus. There's only Zekken that ended up full buying into this one. I think he's fairly confident he can get his Euro online and go into the next with, what, like a Bucky or something, and he'll be fine. G2 need this, and they need it cleanly, and Valen's going to have to come up with more than just the kill on Bang in mid.
One hell of a trial awaiting him, and Salva's going to make it that much more difficult. Spraying them down is the only chance he had. At least it takes one down to the grave. Heaven watchful onto the angle. Again, the util is just perfect. Buys that time and that space. Dimensional drift is going to be committed. That's second. He's using it, getting the info. Double drop down. Backs to the possible position, but now they should know where these players might be still out in the open. It was Trent on an island, and Jorg left to do it all. 1v2! Narrate! Aftershock committed. Flank. Vital kill. Narrate drops.
Very exposed position for Narrate to be playing. Now Zelsis cleared as well.
Half clearance!
Should have been.
Punishing.
Zelsis
Brought down. At the end of the day, G2 finding these players and finding a couple of heads for their troubles. Zekken, too much to overcome into that spot. Forced to respect it. TP forward, Zekken cuts up the angles, cuts up the gap, and a perfect flash at that.
So good.
Spam gives him that timing, and Sentinels, they can feel it. It's blood in the water, and they are hunting it down. Trent, slightly ajar there. Leaf tucks himself down to hell. Wait a second. Spoke too soon, but Zekken might be able to salvage this operation. And with it, An early finish to the map. Fake TP trips him out. And that's a 13-4 start in this best-of-5 grand finals. The wall spotted out early just from that drone. Seconds up close. Clone to lead the charge. He's up and over as well on top of it. There's going to be Thorns. Salvo, stuns offloaded. Everything collapsing and colliding into these players. And there's a full separation onto the site. It's just Sentinels left to look in dismay. Second TP'd already. In that default spot. And there's slipping his way in through the back. This is a nice play indeed. Still dropped down almost single digits. Going to be regenning back up and alive. G2 trying to opt into the retake, making sure that they hold on to control towards the back, and Art will be able to put the squeeze down onto these Sentinels players. Especially with Zekin this low. Flash through and around. Cuts up to the corner. Ray not expecting it. Still off to the side. The players are lining themselves up now. Ready for the taking. It's a 2v2 at that. Slipping around the corners. 1v1. Bang versus Leaf. Sees his players, the position's noted. Bang out wide, Henter missing. Rattling, the lead fired off. And it's the right click that does it.
Through B-Link before, sending 3-4 players in.
What? My goodness.
Completely catching Trent. Trent not normally going to go for that mid-rotate. That was dangerous.
And the deep wall as well, critically. Peace of mind in terms of no one stepping over the line, but Jonah goes up and over the top of it because time was really getting quite short. Zeltis doing his job and doing it well. Full defense across the board, making sure that every position is accounted for and the gun's being picked up as well. Inside the smoke, there's no stepping forwards into that. Hands and bang. Doesn't push his way back and away from this angle. Anticipating the re-peek.
Double missed shots there from Leaf and a really difficult shot to hit the second one.
And these players are just toppling, man. This is G2's defense getting picked to pieces. Tapestry just unraveling before our eyes and leaves it just to the three of them. Valiant has to go re-exploring, but danger spot to do it as well.
3 G2 players whiffing on defensive lines here to open up the map completely for Sentinels.
There's no polite way to say it, but listen, maybe Trent can be that savior.
Oh, he's got it.
Collecting that, hello! Anticipating the recross as well. He's made it more winnable. It's a 2v2 now.
They saw Bang earlier on in A main, so Jonah is being very thorough with the clearance here through mid.
There's the potential for the timing as well. Go wrong for Sentinels, but Jonah P onto that angle. Bang somehow wins that fight out. Steps it up. Cosmic Divide going to be hard committed. And Trent just cannot get onto the timing fast enough. Turns himself his way towards it. He's going to be picking out these players' positions, and he knows exactly where they are. Flash, just to make it awkward, just to make it tricky. Salvos, and again, pushed forwards. Inside of the frying pan, into the fire. And Trent will attempt to return it. Does drop second.
Bang
Flash,
is very
not
alone.
quite dodge. Bang is super alone right now. Sidestep towards it. Backup arriving. G2 doing damage, weakened it up. John QT's having a sidestep this with a Hunter's Fury up in his face. Cosmic Divide. And John QT ahead of it. Thorns buying that space, buying that timing. Dart broken and dealt with. Cuts it up close here. It's going to come down to the gunfights. And the discipline of G2 needs to reign supreme. They can't take these individuality. And they do it. It's a high-low setup and swinging right through and just not set up for that refight. So want to try and take this fight. Looks likely they're going to be using Util on top of it and leave. He's just cycling through the weaponry.
Yeah, he was worried about that split coming through Art, through mid and around behind him. Pushing Trent completely out through water there made Leaf's position look bad. Now Jorg is the last hope for G2. He's got a weird spot here in A main.
He has to dominate this fight. If he wins this one out, it means that A main is not going to be safe for him, and he does win it out. So bang, drop. No more smokes as well to play around with. We'll see if Sen have the protocols to try and re-clear this one, but Dimensional Drift is earned up, so Jorgo can get out back to safety. Spots him out. 2 through main. Doesn't know where the last is, but Zelsis is a common position to play indeed. They've been watching the VODs. They're going to know he's around. Time dwindling though. It's running short. And the longer they take, the more stall that Sen are going to be operating off of. Jogamo, he's left with his head on a swivel. He knows that there's that potential for the reflank, but you can already hear it ticking away with the spike in hand. Gunplay in order. And shots need to be fired. Bodies need to topple. G2 need to really win this one out. Defend that defuse that's really coming through. And Valin, his confidence fully into the rest of his team. They stick it out. In through A.
Trent going for the drone.
Armageddon. It's going to clear out most of the way into pit, but it pours and it pushes the players in forwards into it. That's a deep flash. Jorgamo wanted to take the fight straight to them, but players are ready for it. Either that or the flash was just slightly off.
I think it got caught in the smoke.
Yeah, didn't quite get the value he was looking for here. Still, it's going to be darts and Util ricocheting outwards. finally dropped and dealt with. TP's on top of it. Everybody playing back and away now. Sin getting themselves into that post, and he's just using the salvos here to start. Recall. John lucky to cross and lucky to keep his life intact. There's bullets flying down on top of him. Knife, oh, not quite. That's going to be the steel guard.
That's going to help with the retake. They need the guns.
Almost certainly. Pushed back, just a pull. It's going to be minus time for them. Still, fight needs to be one out second. He's the one with the rifle swinging wide and around. All for Sentinels, and they're hoping that somebody just opens themselves up, but that's going to be the call made. Forwards pressing the advantage that potentially they've got, but it is chaos all across the site. And Jorgamo, make sure to step into that smoke.
Fight on the flank.
Yeah, and this is going to be still with 12 seconds remaining. Jonah P, he's taking out Bang.
10 seconds left.
Zelsis left in that impossible scenario. He's jumping around, he's leaping around. Util out into his hands, wins out the fight for no time. Yeah, it's just ran short. And so 6-6. Just the sound cue to try and deny the plan. They're a bit too slow for that.
Activity in the post plan. Good to see from G2. They got red last time by Sentinels on split.
It's all about catching that player right there. So Zelsis taking out this lane position. A lot of control for G2, and the flashes are beautiful on that. They're meeting them pound for pound with these pistols in hand. Shock darts rebounding. Cacophony of Util. And John is left to pick up those pieces. See if he can forge a path to victory into this pistol, but he knows he's got a lot to do. And a lot to account for. Leaf. It's a deep TP. It's going straight into the side as well. And Jorgamo might be looking for a cheeky kill. So John is quite aware of it, but ran down in the end.
A main though.
Yeah. They're not having control of this one. Bang still cut to the corner, and this could be the difference. The playmaker, he's got to worry about being pressured on multiple fronts, but just backs himself, and if he plays his life, the longer and the more winnable it gets for Sentinels. G2, got to be really worried about this one. Just missing these timings. 2 outlaw bullets, no fruition. And getting a move on, a tap and a plant, and they're backing away straight to mid, but Bang knows all at this point.
Can Zelsis get there in time? If Zelsis runs, they'll hear him and they'll know where to anticipate him, so he's got to take the slower timing, which probably allows Val in the plant.
30 seconds left.
Zelsis is going to be deading those thorns, but all deaded. G2 not giving up the site though. Everybody grouped up towards it, and that flash drops down, but G2, it's not quite made for the retake there. Bang's forced to just save lane control through main. So Steel Gardener's going to be getting a ton of useful, not just information. I mean, Zekin's just pushed out into the open. Perfect timing with the peek from Leaf.
They knew it left a little gap there, and he covered it with the AWP. It's so good from G2.
A plant down on top of it.
Halls is about to get annihilated with Teho Util.
And here it is, salvos. You've pushed G2 forwards, but they're backing away. They're saving.
They're saving!
Time to turn up the tempo. Jonah P, did he make a sound cue here? He has to be potentially that knife in the back, but no. Reveals it early, just gets the one before the trade comes through. Leaf watching up and over the angle. Flash is not doing too much at all. Zekin, Shorty knocks him down. 4 bullets left! Unbelievable! Shocks are flying forwards, but the Thorn's still deaded anyway. That dart is inside the smoke. They are unaware of this, and here's that corner! And the collapse from Sentinels. Put him in the vice grip. Jorgamo left to do a lot from this spot. It's only 9 seconds remaining. The tap, but it's discipline now. In from Sen, and they realize that they've won it. That was just Bang securing the round.
There was a couple milliseconds there, honestly, where Jorg
just jiggling. A few bullets laid off, and he does have the knife full as well to try and help him out. Decay kicking in, but not enough to stop those bullets. Trent, full speed ahead. Now he's getting a move on. A quick tap, seeing if there is that response in terms of the Util, and with the smokes in the face of Zekin. Can't quite make a play. Holding down some of this ground. It's critical for the Sen retake occurring here, and for G2, they're looking to take it one step further. They've lurked their way all the way through, in through the back. There's a slight gap into the window, but it's being watched for. Shorties! My God, just finding a cranium, and Jorgamo just backs himself in through main. The 2v4 in the blink of an eye with the Hunter's Fury at that. Tail end of it, getting that damage, flash through. It's going to grab that information once more. It's going to be using it to see if he can set the path and clear the way. They know the wall's not quite there. Jorgamo knives out, just trying to bait that fight out. Still Jorgamo, how is he getting the one before the trade comes through? Shorty's out, and the players are just flooding their way back in. This is desperation from Sentinels, but is it going to be enough? Not quite. G2, they even up that scoreline. It's 1-1 in the maps. Just that primed and ready. Leaf dodges it, but here it is. Tapping to the foots, and the rifle, not quite, as the pistols in hand. Jorg is doing enough for them. Overwhelming the presence that Senna trying to get going over towards their defense, and that G2 hoping that they can get a better side of it. Zekken, though, basically the only one playing forwards onto that. So Flash that does connect. It's good in the process, but time is ticking away, and it's running short at that, and the rate forwards and put in a bit of a pinch. The Armageddon has to be offloaded here. Means that nobody's going to be able to stick this one, but they're overlapping. A lot of their util still ticking. Leaf's been knocked off the map at some point, and yeah, the pull is a savior at the end of the day. If the guns didn't rain it, with an op in the hands of Leaf too, it's going to be slowing them down a step. Drone is used to clear the way. Broken. Playing to the corner, not anticipated. John QT playing ahead of the curve when it comes to G2, seeing if they can at least make a way for it, but it's that rolling retreat that's being ordered for, and Zekken hitting. Still a lot to tangle, and still Valen with the 2, but Trent left alone now in a 1v2, and it's just not doable.
Already trying to stay one step ahead, anticipating the change from G2 and hit B.
It's a big ult. There's no gaps at all to play within, and Valen, he was hard committed to the one side. He was just trying to bail out his teammate that was Jogamo, but TP's backs away, and that's, oh my, it's all going apart, isn't it, for G2? Dimensional Drift, the Hunter's Fury, any attempt to salvage this fight. But the tags, okay, landing in the end was Zekken cleaned up, and that's a plant. Still not committed, but Sentinels now going into the next wave of things here. Jumping down, Flash forwards, but the shot's missing, going wide of the Outlaw. No damage done, no kills to be found. G2 still making this awkward, but Sen, make sure they defend their IGLs back, and make sure that they can't step over it still. Not accounting for that. Leaf rips it off the shoulders. A 2v3, they got to take a step, okay. The pull forced out, and Leaf left to do it all in this spot. Taps out wide, that's just the first layer of things, and now he's got to worry about the flanks, okay. There is that level of awareness, even taking a fight towards it and isolating it, but no bullets left. Gets the reload, time ticking against it, but only 18 health to work with, and there he knows it. The combo of the rest of his team, communication is...
Look, he doesn't even think about it.
Already passed, but I think he spotted them anyway! It's too late. That's slightest of timings, and bang, left to pick up the pieces. And these players off onto the flank. The dart is going to be dealt with, and now it's Trent who's been put under a bit of a squeeze. Has to offload that util just to see if he can buy some space and time, and even with that discipline trying to slow down the shot to the Sheriff, it's bang that still contains the pace.
Leaf's got a potential to win this one if he was in position to take any fights with the tour de force, but instead it's going to be on Jorg, I think, hitting something absurd if G2 want a chance.
Just jump peek through the wall, he needs information to roll with first off, and well, okay. Leaf there. The TP back behind, he's not going to anticipate this. It was all obfuscated. Wait a minute! Speak too soon. And now, hold on, he's going to be able to get half of this. The star was late to be placed. He's sticking it all away. He's sticking it all away. Bang thinks it's a fake tap! Bang thinks it's a fake tap!
To only just picking up these timings, it feels like Zekken was good.
Oh, possibly for a couple!
Like, what is this from G2?
As the smoke drops down so Zekken can recross, I mean, it's just instinctual.
Yeah, just reading the timing play there so well. It looked like Zekken had almost caught it.
Can't snap to the drone in time. He's going to be suppressed here, and Leaf is in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, has to respect that now, so he's going to be cleared out towards A. Sen, get access to the site once more.
Narrate's doing a great job on this pinch as well. All of the mid control that they've been getting, he's been playing for Heaven control in a lot of these A splits, and it gives them much better post-plant positions.
He's going to be that real difficult player. Out towards the link. No command. Waves coming outwards. Senna holding this one, tooth and nail, playing ahead of the Cosmic Divide. They know they have to play up onto the side, but G2 have got all their plays towards the backside of it. John needs one and potentially even more! Calls for the collapse and calls for the help of the rest of his team to put an end to what G2 were aiming for. Trap play.
Yeah, this is the trap play. So Leaf is on an off angle. He takes contact and Jorgamo flashes in.
Is the Armageddon going to be there in time? It's a flash as well. He wants to take that timing with plenty of shots. But just the composure, the aim not quite there. It's a stressful scenario to be placed in, that's for sure. And with it, Leaf and Jorgamo of
disaster. Absolute disaster for G2.
Gotta say, familiar scenes from Leaf. This time suppressed though. That was a knife towards the back, and he is caught into the angle. It's good with the ult, but he's got so much util at the back feet and a flash into his face as well. It's purely full uncomfortability. But Leaf survives. Enough time board as well for him to just reposition with the rendezvous.
Yeah, but they've got them completely contained on B. I mean, look at these positions from Valen and from Jorg.
Yeah. No exit plan for Sentinels. You're going to have to batter your way through this one. Square up, take the fight straight to them. Everyone really quite close and personal up onto the site. No one playing off to a degree, and that's back open wide. Zelsis now going to be commenting that the flanks occurring, and decisions need to be made. Sentinels, they have to carve out a path. There's only 2 of them remaining. A 2v3, there's timing still. Clone, dealt with, and Leaf. By this time, wait for his team to slowly collapse onto him. He is low though, brings it that 2v2. It's still uncomfortable for Sentinels, but it's definitely winnable, and it comes down to that fight! Bang wins it, 1v1! Unable to capitalize, Valin!
But the Teho drone is so fast at being able to clear out both A main and the site.
Trent is hyper committed. Needs to make a play. His back just opens up wide. He somehow gets 2, and he's still alive. Alive and kicking, and ripping Sentinels to shreds. The slightest of windows, and he capitalizes, jumps on it, pounces on it almost immediately, and a refight taken out towards A main. This is rapid. Shock darts, trying to force them out wide. Jorgamo, that's a spike drop down on top of it. Bang! Needs to go for another re-swing, and he's found 2 of his own. 3 total into the round. It would have to be an ace. 2 left to stand. The smoke gonna be fading just in a moment. He hears the footsteps and knows what to expect.
They don't know he's here.
They don't know. He's crossed up onto the corner, opened up into the shoulder, and a trade in sight for Jonah P. Hey. Wait a second.
That's a clone.
Clone, gone. Okay, tripped me out for a second. All good. Zelsis ahead of the smoke. And he's trying to play ahead of that timing. Narrate from the backside as well. They're anticipating that G2 are going to go for that refight. And 1 step ahead from Sentinels. Pistol round. Lying in wait for them, but not out of the danger zone just yet. It's a quick wrap around, a quick pivot from G2. Making their way over towards B.
Sen have needed a pistol. I mean, they're already ahead. They're 7-5 up, right? But they lost both of the pistols over towards Pearl. They were losing some like bonus round situations as well. So they'll feel like one is owed to them at this point. A 4v3, but also a spot where you don't really know where these post-plant positions are going to be. You're expecting G2 to go for some kind of play. They're down people. Leaf. He's only got a classic to be able to work with here. Burned up pretty much all of his headhunter bullets, though he has 1 left if he wants to do something stylish.
There's damage done to Zelsis.
It should be Sen's round.
It should be. Steps forward! I mean, that was the low player, not even necessary. Slightly overkill, but it turns it into the 3v3 quick evacuation backing away. That's Util going to be expended, and Zekken happy to peek off of it. Pushes Leaf into that unfavorable spot and position, and the shock darts flying forward still. They're low, and Zekken needs to hold the line, push them back. Sheriff in hand, he gets it done!
Isn't deep enough to force out his gate crash either. No threat of the suppression, and this was what we were talking about earlier.
What a shot!
What is that?
You're kidding me?
He's so ready for it, though. He plays in that spot himself all the time.
He just knows the crosshair placement. That's a hard shot to hit.
This
Even
one,
if you notice somebody there.
This timing might be hard to hit.
Still going for it? Wait, he's calling the players back over towards B.
He's using the trademark for info, trying to clear that spot, and Bang was in that spot just a moment ago.
And just that Jorgamo insert in through mid. Thriving in the chaos, a deep flash into the corner. Narrate has no options whatsoever. Flawless from G2. Shock darts up against it. Nate's still going to be good for it. Now a flash of his own, trying to play himself back in, but Jorgamo's way ahead of it. On top of it, flick of the wrist. I mean, what an adjustment by Leaf. They're picking center pieces with their defense.
Mid is such a gap right now, and that means that all of the rotates have to go through spawn. They're so late, these rotates. Zekken can't even connect with the rest of the team. It's going to be a 3-person save.
John's forced to cancel and just, whoops, get the hell out of there.
Leaf can't cross.
And still gets out with the 1.
Leaf cannot cross. How's he crossing?
Yeah, this is it. Risks need to be taken, but that's a roll in front, and it's going to be knocking you sky high. Zelsis, can he still stay alive and kicking? Threading the needle. Trent just trying to get himself way into the side here. Better spam and an off offloaded with
What's
the
going
ult.
on?
I mean, Zelsis is just using that just to try and survive. Up through mid, though. That is creeping. Leaf still that Packstar play occurring. And this is the danger, as you mentioned. But there's still 27 seconds to play with Bang. Going to be the playmaker once more. He's been doing it over and over again. Time. It's going to be at the back of his mind, but he doesn't know where Leaf is still creeping. He can't really hard commit to these players that are working their way over towards B. Plant, out towards Cliff. Deep flash, dodged. And Leaf's still there. He's holding it down, out forwards. Bang, creeping closer onto the side now, and he's applying pressure of his own. He's trying to get Sentinel straight back into this fight, but sidestepping. It's good movement from Jonah P. Caught with a reload out into the open, and Jonah P. and Zelsis forced to do a lot into this spot, and the backstab finally comes through. It's a fault line. going its way forward. Jorgamo needs to really respect, I think, that they've got a variety of players just tapping away with the bullets there, crossing them up onto the angles. Leaf has been dealt with. He was cut up onto the side. There's still no plant here for G2. Time has been bought for these 7 players, and they are rapidly approaching. Hold on, there's a timing!
Oh, what a play.
Jorgamo's ahead of it. Drone at his feet, not worried about it. No defense inside, and with that heaven control, an extra difficulty now. Lay it down for the Sen retake, especially with the op into the hands of Zekin. He has to be a passive player. It's the rest of his team now that need to step up, and Bank does so. He's forward onto the site now, making sure to apply that pressure evenly, but they still need to worry about this heaven player, and they might be trying to catch him here onto the timing, and yes, Narrate's caught him. Here's the danger, spamming down onto them. It's bullets raining from above. Narrate can stick this one. There's smokes into their faces, and what is the next option? It's a pull. Still got half, though. These players are so low. Wait a minute, wait a minute! Trent is pulling off just an absolute miracle. Despite the win con, Second has no choice just to watch from the sidelines here and try and survive away from the sphere, but just... Stack of players from Sentinels. Fault line, uh-oh, 2 of them stunned up. In through the smoke as well, trying to take these timings, and they're fighting ahead of it. This is a difference. Sen trying to take it, a bit of argy-bargy onto the side. Jonah P just spots the top of the cranium, but not expecting the backstab. Narrate was there, ready with open arms.
Heavy stack on B. G2 not ready for it. They were expecting, I've got to imagine, Sen to be more worried about mid, based on the conditioning prior. Sen are like, nah, we'll just fight them. Where we hear noise, we will simply fight them, and then we'll cover the lurk timing later. This should be unwinnable for G2.
With the spike drop down into the open, they've got Celsius, I believe, taking contact just with the slightest of jiggles. Sees it. And here's the... Oh, wait a second. Narrate losing that fight.
That's a whiff.
It adds difficulties.
The flank, though. The flank from John.
Yeah. He's got to be the savior for them. They can't stop the plant, but they still have a very good chance of winning this round, assuming the timing is taken. He's missed him. Missed him into the corner. These... Well, Armageddon's not going to give away the position. It's going to push them straight into his grasp, though, and it's intelligent at that. It's the major benefit of it. Oh, and John, oh, he's lucky to be alive there, but with it, he gets the information he was looking for. They know where Trent is. Stunned up, out into the corner. Still loses it, but it's an impossibility at this point. Cliffside plant, full stick. Still survives, still stays. Tethered onto the corner. He's going to be TPing. Repositions. In through the smoke as well. He's cut up the ankles. They don't know where this guy is playing from. It's a pivot. Jorgamo's still trying to play this one forwards, but Lee finally takes that timing. Up the gut straight through mid. Can't win the fight out, though, from those straggling players, and Sentinels have an opening. A window for them. Valorant forced to get off that plant. It's danger there with the salvos raining down from above, but John is low. Knives in the hands of Zekin. What is the play they're going to cook up in this spot? Cosmic Divide. This is going to force Sen forwards. Gives Valiant that space to reposition. Playing himself a little bit back. There's a dash forwards. It was saved just for this. One with a stun, anything to try and coordinate this attempt, and they have cleared up most of the side. They've got to know these players playing behind Pillar.
It's not a good plan.
Not really. They have to double up now and take this fight towards them, but still no kills that could be earned by G2. Despite it not being a good plan, time is ticking. It's getting away from Sentinels here. They need to force the issue. Salvos out wide, that's what they were waiting for! And it's straight out of rifle. Is that time? Yes, just about.
Tons of time here for Sen to be able to get it across the line.
My God.
What?
Getting it out like they are somewhat aware, but G2, a couple of players off onto the side as a Cosmic Divide to split them up, and that's why Trent is playing up and close and personal. The full line, just a slight whiffage, but still the kills are raining down upon them. Jorgamo, he TP'd back into the spawn angle, I believe. Tried to cut it up behind them. They dealt with it, at least partially. The salvos now drop down onto the cliffside. Slide out of the way! Drop down! And Trent has no choice but to just fire a last-ditch effort, anything to survive this. John's found the kill. Second under the fuse, the slightest of taps, and Jonah B is nowhere near. It's inevitable! And with him falling, Sentinels take the lead. Evacuate away from this play. The Salvo's pushing them back, but this is a call by Sentinels. They want to fight this one forwards into the spawn, see if they can catch Trent unaware. He's got to hear these rumble of the footsteps, and he's playing the slightest of off angles right by the ropes as well. He has an exit strategy, but he might just want to take the fights to them. He does just that. Sentinels with a 2-player disadvantage now, forced to see if they can make risks and plays of their own, but Narrate is just swept away. G2 fully in control. Seems to be that awareness from the Sentinels players, but smokes are going to be dividing up the site now. It's all up onto G2. Jorgamo will make an attempt to conquer, and speaking of that, I mean, Sentinels just overwhelmed Trent from that spot, putting him into a really uncomfortable position. With him gone, they don't have to worry about the A main flank too much, and G2 don't really have the weaponry to be taking straight up duels here.
They're pushing spawn.
Yeah, risk to their own. Zelsis just layering down and raining them down with lead on top of it, man. Still from the back. Leaf, a lot to contest with there. Sound cues all around it.
To be more of that slower defaulting team. But on this map, they just ran a bunch of fast set plays.
Oh, the repeat, put a boom in your face just makes it a bit of a mistake there still. It's answered back. That was John QT just layering down that covering fire. And the Thorns, that's a sound cue.
Yeah, that's so good.
Leave, here's the reposition of Bang and knows to punish. Conventional drift going to be expended though. Second, he's got to do something to try and turn the tide of this fight. Sweeping their way out through the smokes. A bit of ground's going to be gained out through and wide. G2. Grabbed an orb for Zelsis. He has the sealed garden if they get into position. So Zekken has really got to hold on to spawn control. His team are here. Nades, push them back in case there is that flood attempt. A bit of spam. Oh, Leaf. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful like that. Here's that ult. I just talked about it. Be playing a bit of a difference. Leaf goes down though, that's an aftershock. Meant to deal with this one. Shorty in hand, he's up on high ground. Just laying down death from above. Still, it's Sentinels, but managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had an advantage, but just like that, turn of a dime, it's all gone the wrong way. A tap, they've earned half, but guns out wide.
Now Valorant has
got the ult, orbital strike. Your outs are dwindling, your options are out. And what can Zekken do? Salvos to work against. The rapid spike approaching. He's forced to save it away. TP to get back and away. He is anchoring hard onto the site. Not sure if they heard that one as a Rolling Thunder clears his way through. Oh my, the clone on top to try and fake and obfuscate where he could be hiding, but he cannot escape from that Jorgamo sightline. Bang! Makes an attempt of it, putting a squeeze onto the site players, but G2 are just overwhelming it, man. Holding it down, they know what to expect.
And so much good utility to stop the flood from coming through. Jorg deliberately got breach ulted there, by the way. He got catapulted in by his own breach. He's got Blast Pack and Rolling Thunder sending him in.
That's a hell of a lot of momentum.
And that's what I'm talking about. Sen.
Right here, yeah, they're through. Already on through the choke point. It's a fault line. Armageddon, there's no chance.
You're done so.
You're done so. Straight into the open arms and the fire in line the G2 were waiting for. And look at this read. It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's onto Zekken. Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive. 56 health to work with. He's making his way forward. John QT stops him at the front door. Sorely needed here for Sentinels.
And Zekken relocates, takes the rope. Oh, and John is too good for it.
He's going to point into the direction for his team to let loose, really. As you mentioned, potential there with a breach shot, but John QT has gone down. Almost found one onto Bang as well. And the ults let loose. There's 20 seconds left into this. Zeken's just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to get in. He could be the difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got one for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2. Lock and key is what they got to side under. Zelsis creeping around the corners, but even the drop just being watched for. 7-2 now. That scoreline, just when you think Sentinels, we don't know what to expect. We really don't. Bullets are hitting, connecting, bang, pressing the advantage is to send. They're trying to get ahead of these timings that G2 are taking. Works out in their favor, but it's going to be util use pound per pound. And Jonapi push forwards into it. It's a scramble, an attempt of salvage from here. G2 to get that spike back, and it's very apparent which area of the map they're trying to fight over at this point. Sentinels. Ooh, some way or form, they have that advantage.
Flash didn't catch onto John QT somehow there.
Yeah. They got lost in the geometry of the map. Oh my god! Bullets almost landing. One's up and over. Celsius has to respect that, give up that space. Cut noise, playing it slow now.
Sen are pretty happy to just rotate to where the noise has been, though. Here's a Teho drone to try to get a little more info.
Didn't clear the box. They're worried about Sam at the same time, and here's the salvos. Oh, no, there's no gaps to play in! Tap with the Guardians in hand. Leave it just down to Trent, though. It's a 1v2 and offline. Held down. It's good util. To Molly. Thorns, and he knows the wall's there on top of it. Out of the way, the fuse is going to be running out. Bang just takes the timing. Pushes straight past it. The initiative seized there by Sen. Spike dropped down into no man's land. Now Trent has earned himself an ult, but it's a 2v5. And with these players topple the ult, can't take that one into the next half. Sentinels done enough here. 4 rounds. You order a little bit of argy-bargy because you might be getting it here. And now off the contact. Full line. Just a little bit delayed, and they want to take it one step further. Narrate hard committed. Flash will not save you. It's a 3-piece. Ordered up nice and pretty. Jorgmo delivers it to his team.
Are they going to be able to find the timing here? Leaf tucked in, waiting for it.
What is that? He's turning to reclaim the flash. He's using it for information. He's just missed that mark.
It still should not be winnable for Sentinels because of the spike's position down here at D.
And Plantain are potentially, I'm not too sure when the salva's coming online, but Jorgmo's already there. Just been using to see if they can push this one back to 6 seconds left. And yeah, when time's running that short. Clear coming through, drone, see what it spots off. And here's an attempt of it. Zekken steps forward, Trento quick on the trigger and the trade.
They got rid of Jorgmo though, which means no showstopper. So that's one piece of plant denial not available. Can Sen get in? Valin under pressure.
Yeah, definitely under pressure. There's flashes all over the place, man. He's blind as a bat. He can't see anything in this spot. So would have thought, what is that? Ferrari swing. But Celsius stuck himself now onto the site, and he's left with a series of unknowns just wandering around his head. Where are these players? He's tapping, hoping, praying that they open themselves up into it, making it that much more winnable. Dodges the flash, and now he knows it, at least expects it. One player, at least into main, sees the barrel. Can't win the fight. Still so much information.
They're flanking so early. They did this in the prayer as well.
Just, yeah, lambs to the slaughter. Steel Garden overlaid on top. Jorgmo does not care. You can take away his gun, but he's still got the rockets. Still the salvos out wide here. Drifting in and out of these fights, and it's Bang who ends up dropping 2 players left to stand here from Sen, Zekken and Celsius, trying to make sense of this chaos in the round, trying to reclaim any sort of space. Celsius slips in from under. There's the one, jiggle. And stun, oh no! Just a bullet tag slowing down the momentum. He can't evade that.
Good dodge on the flash. Step 1.
Many more to follow, and Haven, but gotta focus. Maybe gather a bit of momentum, just make it that much more doable. Valin does eventually get removed away from the side here. The bullets are firing. Sentinels flooding out the feed.
They know that tree's been compromised.
It's going to be heard for. Committal, they know where the plant is as well. That nade is going to be rebounding, pushing John out into the open. And, well, okay, now a spray down, Trent! Where have you pulled that from? Just from the side, just when he thought Sen were getting comfortable into this round. It's a 1v1. Him versus the Rate. Doesn't expect to reposition. The Rate straight from behind. This is going to be cleared out. Wait a second, Sen. No, they're being squeezed! Up onto the ropes. Celsius just couldn't quite escape in time. Trying to go a little bit quirky with the movement there. Zekken's just not able to get that kill. Slightest miss with a Bucky in hand. And it's up to Bang to respond. And he does. It's 2 ripped away and Armageddon of their own, and they have that site access, turning it back into the 3v3. Slowed once more. The Rate sticking with the plant. John finds his kill and his mark. Leaf. He's cheeky with it on this map. He's often trying to take those timings, and it's unusual to catch him unaware.
They've just heard the door open, but I don't think they're going to be aware of Valin. They still think there's a chance that he's over towards Spawn.
And Sen are not out of that danger zone just yet. And creeping forwards, he's just spotted it. Just the shoulder. Fault line, it's instantaneous. It's rapid. These players are dwindling. They are toppling G2. It's almost there. It's within their grasp. And they will have it. Not to be denied. Haven is inevitable. They're trying to make this feel like a B hit, and they're going to pivot into the C, but we'll find out ourselves. Shield popped, trying to ISO these fights. Celsius gets caught onto the flank there. Stun's going to be that connection. The Rate a lot to do into this spot. Spamming away, praying, and the damage done. He was whittled down to just double digits, and it was enough at the end of the day. But Zekken has granted him at least easy access, potentially over towards C. He might have just seen it, twists and turns, and these fights are taken. Jorgmo wins it out versus Bang. Man, it's going to be committed. Stuck down by John QT. But it's him and Zekken with a lot to do.
A 2v2 fighting garage going to be set up here.
And damage done prior. I mean, Jorgmo just goes down. That's a TP relocation. Pivot back and away, but John has taken that space. Didn't anticipate that there was a second player ready to face it. And now Zekken in that 1v3. Valen's got the smoke for it. It's very difficult to play this one. Zekken purely just have to base it off of spam, essentially, and now he can stick it. His team is applying that pressure down through C main. Are they even aware? The answer is no. Leaf strikes right from behind, and Celsius got to do a lot here. He's got to try and salvage this entire hit that's coming through over towards the A site. Celsius can now become a bit of a problem player for them. Do they have to clear up the cam? It's a game of cat and mouse. What a plan does go down, but oh, he's looking in a different direction.
Jorgmo is also a problem player, though. He was behind in A long and Sen never cleared it.
Dropped down. Oh my God, what's occurring? No one's covering these fights. And the angle's there. Jogan was in their faces. Do they know where Bang is? Sticking, Jog gets halved. There's a smoke to supplement it, covering it, obfuscating it. It's 3 in a row for G2. And up through mid. Oh,
Brutal.
smoke propped up. Information gathered, and they're just not watching their backs, man. These angles are open. G2 making a mockery of it right now. We didn't know what to expect here for Haven, but the game plan has just fallen to pieces for Sen.
They're leaving so many gaps, and G2 are finding them. I think Zels has got to be more defensive in his Cypher play rather than trying to find the lurk timings. He needs to stop G2.
Jonah P.
30 seconds left.
Tucked up tight, reinforcements arriving. They spot the back. There's a swing. Bang's lucky.
Here's Zelsis trying to find that lurk timing, though.
There's 20 seconds left. G2 no. Oscarage control. Okay, whipping a rifle back around again. Zelsis did get the 1 kill, but there's only 13 seconds left. They don't have main control.
10 seconds
I
left.
meast Leaf has got this. Bang in the smoke.
Trying to go for it, a bit of spam. Oh, it's revealed his hand. Definitely has, but it's uncomfortable for Sentinels. They know that they have to fight for control of at least one of these areas of the map, and bullets are flying forwards. It doesn't matter. Salvos, he's hoping that they get pushed back into him. Cracking shot by Narrate.
That gives him the ult as well.
With that, maybe you can snowball it into your advantage, but Senna taking it slow and steady once more.
The drone doesn't clear enough. The idea there is that the drone is supposed to see whether they're playing retake. If they are playing retake, you take the site. If not, you catch him in the ISO.
Late hit. Oh, Jonah P's been out in the open there. He thought that he had the timing. This dimensional drift might not even be necessary, but he is going to spot out these players, and hello, combo it up. Yep, take it into the gulag. Good luck winning it, and Trent somehow manages it. There's a shield to contest with. Still there, gets 1.
Trent,
What?
Whoa, what are we going for here?
Off the rips, flashes in their faces, salvos and Armageddon! Narrate stems the bleeding and takes the bite out of that play. Jogamo's still going to be taking the space off the back of that, but forced to respect it with a TP of his own. They're trying to squeeze these players.
Yeah, it's a set play that we've seen some other teams go for, actually, but...
Leaf holds on over Zealous! Leaf's grabbed 2! Trent through the back to Razorvine and Hunter's Fury. He's going to be whipping his way around with just a 1 tag. Not enough to get the damage done. Not enough for the kill that they're looking for. Still a 2v3.
Jogamo's coming around the flank. No, he's not.
Takes it for the TP. I mean, this is just going to be... Again, that chaos sewn into the mix, into the round itself. There's 2 players on Sentinels. They're looking to see if they can carve an opening.
Trent just got salvos back. They're trying to bait them out. Trying to bait out a peek.
Fighting for a link control as 2 players to meet them. Spots the shoulder. It's going to be a clone into your face. Could be blinding you potentially, but he turns it still. Flashed up. And they're just wandering, waiting out. Make their way over towards Zane. Right? Take a peek. It's a double player held down. I mean, they were watching for it. They hear the sound cue from the shield. He only gets the 1. And every smoke, every option is watched for. Right now, Senna just throwing anything at the wall, seeing what sticks with these lurk plays. TP committed. Leaf is wondering whereabouts these players could be. Rolling Thunder gives him the time for the drop down. Flash on top of it. Hell player, Bang needed to win that fight out, and he still needs to hold it down even further. It's just 1 man. What can he do? Dodge at a flash. Quick turn to the side. Plant's still not down for them. He's going to be stuck, committed. Cosmic Divido forces them forwards into the fight and into the fray. And G2 are now aware of it. They know the possible positions. The IGL. Ult narrowly avoided.
He got the clone, did he?
Sucking onto a couple of these players. Yeah, is that a clone play? Absurd reactions from Jordan. We're just anticipating it, but a clone in your face doesn't matter. No, he can't go and get out. It's traded in time. Bang at least gives them that. And a player advantage on top of it, but they haven't cleared. Valin backs to him. And quick reactions from Celsius. Make sure to watch that angle, but damage done to Bang. Wrapping around by Leaf. It's all about this timing, and they are doubled up towards short. Doubled up, and he's... Oh, the player weak! Does he anticipate that Celsius has cut it up into the corner? It's all about this timing and the fight to be taken!
It's a weird way of using the ice, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to force that re-clear, which Leaf apparently not favoured for. Valin! It's impeccable with the timing. I mean, Narrate, he's just not worried about it. He's trying to back himself out of the fight. Clone was used in mid, just pulls back that wall as well on top of it, but the salve is going to be used as that response, and Jogamo ready to lock it down. He's got teammates at his back, and he's taking the fight straight to them. Flashes in their face, stuns to supplement, slow down the pace. The drone now has to be offloaded. Sen looking to get themselves in. It's a half clearance. It's a half clearance! Trent, he's just decimated them! Increase again with the tempo, but that's Bang just perched up on top of the staircase, and the angle unexpected for Jorgamo.
G2 feel like they have to make something happen here, because if they wait, Sentinels have got an enormous ult advantage. There's the Cypher ult.
Yeah. And it pushes back G2 when they were looking for another go of things outside the double doors. All up. Neural5 gives them the info. They know that A has just the one lurking for it, and Zekin's going to be gathering even more information. Thorn's popped off, but he doesn't care about that. Straight into the fight, Leaf. How cheeky do you want to get? Armageddon is going to be layered down onto these players as well, and it's created that window in the pocket. Still Zekin from behind, and he does wrangle his rifle just in time. It's 2 dropped. Zekin needed that. Needed to show himself up here. Still, he's stunned. Go to the corner and unaware of where Jonah P could be coming from. Wait a second, it's a 1v2. Drone not being used. Flash up and over towards the top, but tagged up. Jonah P forced to respect it. Cannot give these G2 players ins, and you can feel it now. Sen realize it. Offload and for the util. Doubled up. It's a good call to make. Of their own, Jorgamo is going to be using it, gathering it, and he sees it. Tip tap of the footsteps. Leaf cutting up close onto the corners. Unexpected here. And here's some chaos for you. Attempt to reclear it forces Sen to slow down.
They've used Recon just to check spawn.
Yeah.
All right. Even if he gets this ult orb, even if he gets the ult online, he doesn't have his shield because he wasted it earlier on.
That's what he would be hoping for. Any sort of advantage into this fight. Any information? It's an ult. A no-go. Everybody just cleanly out of the way. G2 now start swarming, getting into position for this one. Forwards, double taking, just trying to get ahead of the curve as well as his setup occurs. Blind as anything, Valin. He's just running rings around him, but Zekin left to try and control the situation. But it's too much for even him. Just the shoulder peeking out. Shots fired off as well. Calls made for G2. They want to try and take this full focus in towards the back of the site. Narrate to cracking one to try and open it up, and the issue forced. Jorgamo pressing forwards, but still these players, these bodies, as much as the advantage was found, it suddenly just turned all the way right around. G2, how are you managing this? It was all, oh, I mean, it was looking so likely. But he missed his way around. I mean, they just committed the aftershock anyway. Doesn't matter that they missed him. This is C control and a TP deep up onto the side. Bang. Just trying to layer it down as well. A bit of recovery and fire is in order and necessary. And the rate has got to do it all. Quick dismiss, a quick flick of the wrist just to try and dodge these dashes, and the flash is coming his way. 2 versus 3 though, plant going down, no problems there, and G2 getting ever closer. Flowing forwards, facing away, John QT. It's a lovely time to make a play, but it's going to need a little bit more. Dart revealing, bit of spam potential, but still they're going to try and take this one together! And the jumping right clicks. Paints the picture. It's obvious right now for G2, but despite how obvious it is, you have to hit back and you have to fight back. Sentinel's not willing to go down without a fight, not just yet. To escape from this one without giving away too many more kills because they have that player advantage.
Cautious and respectful from G2, just trying to control the aggression from Sen. Didn't want to take too many unnecessary risks, but now they're going to have to do something. Down 3v4, using that to break the trip. The drone partially avoided still. It's good, John just playing back now, and the plan is retake over towards A. He's got the kill, he's played his life. Individually.
No reason to overcomplicate it.
Individually, these initiator players on both teams are playing really well. Trent now, Armageddon online. I don't see how they could get this done. Should be Sentinels getting up to 5, especially because they're going to have full info on where these post-plant players are.
Did Zekin miss the clearance? I'm not too sure. There's a dart. Rebounding round the back and spam into the smoke. They got to know and expect it, yeah. So, to the hands and the rate with a shield. Can't overstep himself here. If he goes into the Fawns, he loses it anyway, but the duration just running out. It's a nice little util combo still. They're not out of danger just yet. G2 have control of this one. It's a lot of util expended at that. Paranoia sweeps its way through. No play to take space though, not from Sen. I believe they're going to get stalled out, and they are. Slowed down, re-clearance out into garage. Might just come down to these fights that are taken. Dart rebound. Zekin was almost alone when he's taking that one. And these players are falling. Sen to do a lot here. Clearing the way forwards. Jorgamo is low. The dash, or at least the flash, is going to be broken here. Cut it up. Leaf cannot do it here. Leaving it down to Jorgamo. TP up on above. Jogamo hears it, he expects it. But then a 1v2. Cut to the corner. Zekken! Like a thief in the night. Inside the cage. And he turned himself and his team an opening pick. Bang! Within that chaos, this man, of course he's going to be thriving. The windows of opportunities that are being created by his teammates. And they're ready to run this one all the way to another round win. 2 left to stand from G2. How often have these players been in this spot? Valen and Jonah P. The rate's gone. There's a dimensional drift now to set the pace and change the tide of the fight potentially, but Jonah P's in himself. That roll in thunder inside through short. Down to the 1v1. Valen, he's low enough. Tiniest of margins is what this lies on. Could it be 12 or could it be Sentinels in control of once again another round? John QT, there's no tap, there's no hiding it. It's half earned. He wants to stick it! And Valen! All lies on this. The retake coming through. Celsius watching for the flank. Leaf has been down and out. And the feed is filling up with blue. Jorgamo locking it down, crash up to the corner. And this is a rapid approach indeed. Sentinels. They're going to push it back. The Hunter's Fury is delayed. It's delayed.
Jorgamo!
He's into back lines. Jorgamo! He's tearing him a new one. And now Sentinels left to do it, just 3 left standing. A player disadvantage. Here's the retake coming through. The blinds are good, but the kills need to be better. And G2 will not be denied. It's a death knell tolls. And for Sentinels themselves, it all lands on their shoulders, a bang. 1 to be fine, but 2 more left standing. G2.
Not ready yet.
They've been tested, they've been pushed. But a util just makes it almost impossible. TP forwards, 11 HP to his name. Jubilation for G2.